let's talk about the newest James McAvoy film, Speak No Evil. Yeah, this is based off of the Danish film that came out a few years ago. This is an Americanized remake, and yeah, this movie was actually really good. I liked it. I liked it. I liked the social commentary of it. Pretty much, it's about so you got the Dalton family, right? You got Ben Dalton, Louise Dalton, their daughter. They go out the country to this beautiful vacation spot where they meet James McAvoy and his family, identical type family, except instead of them having a daughter, they have a son. And yeah, they meet, they become friendly, and James McAvoy was like, "Hey, come on to my house. You know what I'm saying? It's real nice. You could spend, I don't know, I think it was like a weekend or the rest of their trip, and yeah, spend some time with us, and have some fun. Their whole morals and how the way they treat people is being challenged. Because James McAvoy and his family put them in situations where they question whether or not they should leave, and whatnot. They get into very dark undertones, and there's something about their son. The fact that he can't talk, because they say that his tongue didn't really grow fully. So because of that, he has some sort of speech impediment. But then you find out that, without spoiling, that is actually something darker going on with that. So there's something going on dark with this whole family of the McAvoys. No, that's not their names. His James McAvoy's character name is Patty. But yeah, this movie was a very interesting social commentary. The reason why I say that is because the Daltons are very politically correct, proper family. You know what I'm saying? And so they're put into this situation where they meet these people, and they want to be so kind and polite that they go ahead and go to this family's house. Now, a lot of people who've been talking about this movie says that that's sort of like the core of the story. But I think it's something to look deeper, and you really see this with the character of Ben Dalton, the husband, especially interactions with James McAvoy's character. Uh, I've been through this, and I think a lot of people, been through this as well, especially if you're uh, moderately nice or kind, or just a good person. I think people, they oftentimes get into situations or meet certain people that is kind of like the opposite mirror version of themselves. Like maybe you're very quiet and reserved, and that's like an insecurity for you. So when you meet someone who is very more of an extrovert, is more social, can handle interactions with people better than you could or you wish you could, or maybe the opposite. Maybe you're very talkative, and like to meet people and like to interact with a lot of people, and you wish you could be a little bit more reserved. So you see someone who is comfortable being quiet and to themselves. You gravitate towards that. And I think that the Dalton family felt that, because when they first meet this family, you know, they're a little bit off. They're a little bit turned off by how they act. Especially since it's the opposite of them. But at the same time, they also gravitate towards how open and how assertive, and how gravitating this family is. You know what I'm saying? James McAvoy's character is very loose. He's very like, yeah, yeah, come on, yeah, yeah, come to my house. Oh, you want to ride this bike? Yeah, come on, ride this bike, and it's so friendly. You know what I'm saying? Aggressively friendly. People who are very comfortable with social interactions. And you could tell that the Dalton family was not, especially in the beginning of the scene. It's not really much of a spoiler. Hell, the fucking trailers, damn, you show you the whole movie. So don't watch the trailers if you haven't seen it yet. But anyways, there's this in the beginning of the scene. How they meet this family is that they are on the beach front of this vacation spot that whole resort is at, and the daughter is like talking to her parents, the Daltons, and she's kind of loud. So the the wife, she's like, quiet your voice, blah blah blah, don't talk so loud. And the daughter's like, what for? This is like a social area. And James McAvoy's character approaches them, and he's like, "Hey, is someone using the seat?" Because next to the husband Dalton, it was the daughter's like teddy bear. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Why his daughter has a teddy bear, and she's like almost a teenager. But anyways, so it's a teddy bear like a book, and he kind of hesitantly, takes it off the chair that's next to him. It seems like he kind of still wanted to use it, but he didn't want to be rude. So James McAvoy takes it after he gets the go ahead from Dalton. He takes it. He obnoxiously drags it to the other side. He doesn't even pick it up. He fucking drags it and make hella noise. And he enjoys a beer with his wife and stuff. And that calls Ben Dalton, to ask his wife for a beer, or ask his wife if she wanted a beer. And she's like, no, it's too early, blah blah blah. And that kind of shuts him down. Now he doesn't want beer all of a sudden. So I explained that scene because Ben Dalton saw how free and how open and how fun James McAvoy's family was acting, despite this area where the Daltons at least, felt like they should have been conservative and reserved and very proper and quiet and peaceful. You know what I'm saying? But the James McAvoy's family didn't care. Like, they were kind of loud. They were enjoying their time. They were jumping in the pool, doing what do you call that? Cannonballs into the pool and stuff like that. And that kind of influenced Ben Dalton to kind of want that experience a little bit. So I think that's the reason why this family was persuaded to join this family in their house. Because again, like the things I spoke earlier, it's like when you have certain insecurities to yourself, or you have things that you wish was different from of yourself, and you see someone else is the opposite of that, you want to gravitate towards that. On top of that, this family was just extremely proper, extremely like just so worried on what this family thought, that they didn't want to upset them, or they felt very like uh guilt. They were guilt tripping throughout this whole movie on certain things that James McAvoy's family would do and say, making them feel like they want to leave, but it felt guilt trip, stuff like that. So it was a very interesting movie. The whole buildup of all these social concepts in this movie, that only these certain class of people, all right, will go through. Okay, it's very also the daughter in there. It was also sort of a contrast to how the Dalton family treated their daughter versus how James McAvoy family treated their son. Now, once you actually watch the movie, you'll understand really why they treat their son like that. But uh the Dalton's family, the Luis and Ben, they treat their daughter like they spoil her extremely. Especially the mother. And they spoil her because she has some type of issues where she's 12 years old, but she still acts like a very young child, like a toddler. Always wanted her this teddy bear, or not teddy bear, like this stuffed animal that she got. She always wants that around her, and when she doesn't have that around her, she freaks out and starts tripping. And there's a scene where that toy really holds them back from doing something that they need to do in the movie. And the father has an opportunity to lay his foot down. He has many opportunities to lay his foot down in this movie, but he does not do it. And because of that, consequences happen. It's very interesting how they wrote the father in this, the Ben Dalton, and especially in comparison with Louise Dalton. Both of them, like I said, very they're people pleasers. Definitely have insecurities on themselves that mirror the opposite of which James McAvoy and his wife give off. Ben is, I actually want to use the curse word for this because he really pissed me off in some scenes, but he's a pussy. He's a pussy. His and you also see the contrast, or not the contrast, but the results of that even between him and his wife. Because something happened during their marriage, which you could probably guess what happened, that speaks to how much of him not really wearing the pants in the relationship, and just in the pants and with the whole family in general. Like, he doesn't really have control of the family like he should be as a husband slash father. But it's the very opposite of James McAvoy. You know what I'm saying? Hence why when certain things happen in the movie, especially dealing with their children, Ben Dalton tries to mirror James McAvoy in that and tries to almost get influenced by some of the decisions and how he approaches things. So again, very interesting movie. I really enjoyed it. Uh, but other than that, the climax of the film could have been different. I'm not sure if they were really. I heard that they toned down the climax from the actual Danish original movie. Um, so that probably was the problem, because I felt like the climax was very clunky. It felt like people were just all over the place. Uh, I felt like there was a whole lot of useless just walking around and yelling, especially with James McAvoy's character. I think it should have been a little more aggression, and it should really turn into a thriller or a horror, damn near, at that point of the story. I don't want to go into too much details about it because, again, I don't want to spoil anything for you. I know this movie's been out for a minute, but I know y'all latecomers. There's still some latecomers out there. So this movie, literally, this is technically the opening weekend for this movie. So there's still some latecomers out there. I know y'all haven't seen this yet, so this is for you. All right. So with that being said, this movie is definitely worth your time. It's definitely worth your money. Uh, I'm not sure if it's worth the Oscar. I ain't gonna go all the way there, but I would say James McAvoy did a very good performance, man. He's definitely one of my favorite actors. He's starting to turn into one of my favorite white men. Uh, and yeah, and much credit to the character of Ben Dalton too, because for someone to act that much of a pussy, uh, I know it took a lot of work. Unless he's a pussy in real life, I don't know the guy, but yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the movie if you saw it. Expect more content on this channel. Like I said, I got a lot more things stored for you. And yeah, if you don't know about it, don't ask about it, because you already know the answer to it. Because you already know what it is. I completely butchered that. I haven't said that slogan in so long, but whatever.